Mind and body forgive each other. I pleaded with my body to let in the wolves, to prove we were not afraid. But she was afraid, we both were, and we had reason to be. I tried to ply her with alcohol to coax my body to open the door and let in the boys who were fondling my breasts on the porch. They had weapons they were saving in the corners of their smiles, but I didn't see them. Through the haze of rum and lust, she fingered the key she had turned years before, but did not unbolt the door. I hated her then. She always denied we were the same person. She always believed that what happened to me did not happen to her. When the boys' teeth turned into knives, they cut bits of me away to get at her door, which shed splinters like porcupine quills, but they couldn't get at her. They dug their fingers into my wounds to make me beg her one last time to let them in, and then they left. I didn't want to speak to her. I didn't want to look at her. We were bound together, Siamese twins, but if I could have left her then, I would have. How can you forgive when your own body betrays you? She was angry with me too. I could feel it in her tension. Years later, another man came to us. I politely explained that we were not taking any visitors. He said he would not starve if I did not feed him, for he knew where the wild berries grew. He said he would not freeze if I could not offer shelter, for it was a warm night and he knew the earth would always warm him. He asked if I would like to come outside and count the stars. There were crickets singing to mates they might never touch in darkness. There was joy in their songs mixed with longing. He said we could make up songs of our own. I could sit in a tree and he would sing to me from its roots if I wished. I could lay next to him on the damp grass and he would sing as long as I wanted him to, and only touch me when I pulled him towards me. My body was intrigued. She watched us from the window. Sometime during the merciful night that was everlasting because we asked it not to end and it was kind to us, I felt myself slip into her. I understood what it meant to own a house, to safeguard it against fire and thieves, to patiently make repairs when something's been broken, to accept that it trusts you to know what's best, to accept that you know what's best. I was holding the key when I let him in. So I got one more. It's called Frankenstein. Okay. Grandpa was Frankenstein, staring eyes, half-lidded, staring. Let me start that one here. All right. Grandpa was Frankenstein, staring eyes, half-lidded, leaden legs, lifting, dropping, rigid arms reaching forward, nerveless fingers slicing through air, and I was Elizabeth. Stumbling away, running, being caught by the creature, shrieking in terror. I was 7, and I loved to scream. My screams could pierce eardrums. I was going to be in the movies someday, and Grandpa loved to help me practice. At night, when the jug was empty, when I was supposed to be in bed, I could hear Grandpa howling. He would yell at my uncles, he would yell at my mother, but even when I was caught eavesdropping in the hallway, he would never yell at me. When I was 9, Grandpa was a skeleton lying in a hospital bed with cirrhosis of the liver, his eyes and cheeks sunken deep into his skull, his ample belly filled with blood and burst like an overripe grape. My uncle sat by his bedside every night. Grandpa wanted to be taken off life support. When my uncle refused him, Grandpa balled his sharp, thin fingers into a fist. The emaciated arm flew off the bed and blackened my uncle's eye. After the funeral, the late-night conversations echoed down the hallway, the story of a good, clever Catholic who learned how to lure death with gallons of cheap wine and value packs of Marlboros, thus getting the ending he wanted without the eternal damnation.